Hi guys, and Blackie. Welcome back to another edition of Silver Wolves. Recently I asked, because me and James Bender of Waypoint Survival had talked about putting on a class for you guys. The Silver Wolves. We're not that young anymore, and we're not so much interested in survival as being able to get back out in the field and camp at a relatively primitive area. We want to be able to take care of ourselves. We want to be able to build a fire. We want to be able to set up a hammock or a ground shelter of some kind and be comfortable. We're probably not going to go that far from the car. And we're probably going to be in a situation where we need to be able to carry a few extra gear. Okay? So in talking to him, there's been enough response that we're interested in doing this. The question is, what's the class going to be on? The class is, how long? Well, right now we're tentatively thinking about making it like a 5-day event, because several of you said you're coming from overseas. I had one gentleman say, I'd like a longer class because I'm coming from the UK. And so we can understand that. So we're looking at maybe like 5 days of like starting it on a Wednesday and ending it on a Sunday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is what we're roughly looking at. Okay, that'll give us time to spend time with every person. You know, this isn't going to be a high pressure, high stakes type thing, and we're Silver Wolves. You know, it needs to be a more relaxed pace. We're not interested in a baton death march here. We're not going to throw our gear on our backs and try to do a 20-miler right quick before we teach you how to do a fire. That's for them young kids. We're not door kickers anymore. Now we're the wisdom. We're the experience. We've been the door kickers. Now it's our job to impart the information to the next generation. So we need to be able to get out there and do it. That's where we're approaching it from this. So what we're talking about right now is I'm wanting some feedback from you guys, my Silver Wolves. And I've had several people ask, Blackie, how old you got to be a Silver Wolf? If you feel that you're a Silver Wolf, you are. I don't care if you're 25. If you're in the age group, or you might have some limitations, to where you're just not able to run with them anymore, and I understand that. There's several people that talked about they've got medical issues, or they've got a hearing or a bone problem or whatever, and that they're just simply not able to get around that. Like, absolutely, you can be a Silver Wolf. If you're willing to learn and pass it on, absolutely. Just a lot of us got, lightly frosted over the years. Means we've got some wisdom. We've got some snow on the top because we done been there a long time. We're in the winter. We're Silver Wolves. So, classes. Definitely I want to do a hammock class, because I really feel that's the way to get you back out there. It gets you up off the ground. It's once you learn the tips and tricks to get in and out of, it's easier than getting up off a cot to get in and out of a hammock. You can set your tarp up, you can have a dry shelter, you're out of the ants, you're out of the bugs, and you're actually more comfortable to sleep. With the right gear, you're warmer in the winter. All of the above. So there's definitely going to be a good sized class on hammocks, hammock tips and tricks, stuff like that. Tarps goes along with that. We're going to talk about setting up tarps and tips and tricks. My good friend Dan Lutz, like I said, it broke his back, and he had a real hard time bending over. So we're going to talk about tips and tricks about devices you can make up to be able to put tent stakes in the ground while standing up. Something you can hook a tent stake into, put it down and step on like a shovel to put it in the ground, and when it's time to go home, be able to hook and pull it back out of the ground while standing up. We worked on that for Dan, and it works very well. That's something we're going to talk about. Now, cooking. We're going to talk about meals and things like that, and we're going to go through a little bit about food to carry and how to do immersion heating and stuff like that, so it's a minimum of fuss for you while you're out there in the field. We're definitely going to talk a little bit about fire building and how to generate a fire with your limitations. Now, we may have to, of course, we're going to be working one-on-one with some of y'all that's worse than others, because you may have a real problem with arthritis where you can barely use your hands. That's going to be a challenge, but we're going to be there with you. We're going to see what we can do and come up with it, you know. And what I'm going to encourage everybody to do, when I'm working with you one-on-one, is let's set up your camera, your phone, and let's videotape it for you. So that when you go home, you can go back and watch that video again. Because you might not be going to the woods for 2 or 3 months. And what was it Blackie said? You'll have that. You'll have me talking to you, explaining how to do the fire or whatever for you. See? And that'll help you. Show you how I showed to tie the tarp. Show you how I talked about putting a tent stake in with a gizmo, a dingle stick we make up to be able to put a stake in while standing up because I can't get up and down easy. Things like that. Even how to, how to carry your own porta potty to the field, especially for you ladies. And there's a lot of Silver Wolf ladies out there. And so, being able to carry your own potty with you because of medical needs or whatever, to be able to put it in your tent and set yourself up where you're own, independent and separate. That's some of the things we're going to talk about. So, here's what I'd like you to do down there in the comments. I want you to give me a comment, give me the top 3 things, like how to set up a shelter, how to do fire, how to do whatever. Give me the top 3 things. And we're going to look at that in response, and that's how we're going to set up the classes of what's going to be. We're still in the early phases. We have not come up with a date and a time yet or any kind of pricing. We're going to give y'all plenty of head start on that. Don't worry about, well, what's going to happen this weekend? No. We're going to give you a couple of months head start because we know life's tough. You got to save up money. We're all on fixed incomes. And so we'll have to work that out then. But right now, all we're talking about is, yes, we're going to do something. Yes, it's going to be me and James Bender. Will it be there in Ohio at his place? Probably. Could there be another one later on down here in South Alabama where I put on my gathering? Yes, we could do a Silver Wolf thing down here as well. This don't have to be a one-time event. We'd like to make it maybe a once-a-year thing for the Silver Wolves and be able to take videos of it and etc. and give y'all class. That way, if you couldn't attend, you still get to see some videos, see some of the classes. See? To pass on that information. That's what we're here for, pass on the information. So give me your top 3 things you want to learn or you'd like to look at. Put them down there in the comments for me. Thank you very much for all the support, guys. And hope with any luck, we're going to make this happen. Please hit that comment below and please hit me a like before you go to help feed the algorithm to spread this out to a bigger crowd so more of the Silver Wolves can hear about it. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you a safe journey. Have a great day, guys.